Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatate Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauru Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam, pangum langayate grim, yat krupatam ham vande Shri Gurum Dina Tarine. Just 1 minute, some problem here today. View exit full screen. Okay, and what's this? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. So today we'll see verse number 38, chapter 3, Karma Yoga. So let us chant the shloka. Dhrumena avriyate vanir
धूमेनाव्रियते वह्निर्
यथा आदर्शो मलेन च
तादर्शो मलिन च
यथो यथो उल्बेन अवृतो गर्भस्
यतोऽल्पेनावृतो गर्भस्
तथा तेनेदम् आवृतम्
तथा तेनेदमावृतम्
धूमेनाव्रियते वानिर्
धूमेनाव्रियते वानिर्
यथादर्शो मलेन च
यथादर्शो मलेन च
यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भस्
यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भस्
तथा तेनेदम् आवृतम्.
तथा तेनेदम् आवृतम्
Please chant.
धूमेनाव्रियते वानिर् यथादर्शो मलेन च यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भस्तथा तेनेदमावृतम्
धूमेनाव्रियते वह्निर् यथादर्शो धूमेनाव्रियते वह्निर् यथादर्शो मलेन च यतोऽल्पेनावृतो गर्भस्तथा तेनेदमावृतम्
धूमेन व्रियते वानिर्यथादर्शो मलिने च यथा यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भश् तथा तेनेदमव्रतम्.
Anyone else? Okay, so let's see translation and purport. As the fire is covered by smoke, as the mirror is covered by dust, and as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this last purport. There are 3 degrees of covering of the living entity by which his pure consciousness is obscured. This covering is but lust under different manifestations like smoke in fire, dust on mirror, or the womb about the embryo. When lust is compared to smoke, it is understood that fire of the living spark can be little perceived. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness slightly, he may be likened to the fire covered by the smoke. Although the fire is necessary where there is smoke, there is no overt manifestation of fire in early stage. This stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The dust on the mirror refers to the cleansing process of the mirror of the mind by so many spiritual methods. The best process is to chant holy name of the Lord. The embryo covered by the womb is an analogy illustrating the helpless position, for the child in the womb is so helpless that he cannot even move. This stage of living condition can be compared to that of trees. The trees are also living entities, but they have been put in such a condition of life by such a great exhibition of lust that they are almost void of all consciousness. The covered mirror is compared to the birds and beasts, and the smoke covered fire is compared to human being. In the form of human being, the living entity may revive his little Krishna consciousness, and if makes further development, the fire of the spiritual life can be kindled in the human form of life. By careful handling of the smoke in the fire, fire can be made to blaze. Therefore, the human form of life is a chance for living entity to escape the entanglement of material existence. In the human form of life, one can conquer the enemy lust by cultivation of Krishna consciousness under able guidance. So, in answer to Arjuna's question, that why we do some activities that we don't want to do, as if by force we are doing this. So, yesterday's sloka we saw, Krishna told the answer that is it is lust, which is all devouring enemy of the this world. This world means all the world, not only the living beings. And the lust then gets converted into anger. So here, um, the question may rise: okay, if lust is the enemy, how it covers the human being, how it operates, where it operates, how it operates. So this is the answer. So Krishna gives different levels of covering, how it covers all world. So in a simple terms, if we see in the war of Kurukshetra or war of Ramayana, also we see the war. The enemies, the warriors, they will use weapons, right? So weapons are the instruments by which we conquer the enemy or we bewilder the enemy, and then we can win. So, and sometimes we have seen in Mahabharata also, in Ramayana also, that in the fight or the war between the devs and then demons and the devtas, they will use the celestial weapons. So some weapon will be fire weapon, water weapon, smoke weapon. So what was the purpose of these weapons? Like they will use the smoke weapon. By the smoke weapon, there will be smoke everywhere, and then the enemy party cannot see anything, and in that you can attack the enemy. Or the fire or the smoke, where the enemy gets bewildered and he don't know what to do and he becomes helpless. So this is one way of covering the enemy to make enemy do what we want to do. So it's that's an example uh, to imagine or to understand how lust is covering. So lust means the origin of the lust. We saw that it is the desires that we have and that gets converted into lust. If we cannot satisfy, and it cannot be satisfied even if you get all the earth, cannot be satisfied. So how it covers, the three levels are given here. So fire and smoke. So this analogy is, if an expert person is there who knows how to burn the fire, in the beginning smoke may be there, but he knows how the air should be blown, in which direction it will be blown, and then the smoke will go and it will be complete fire. Expert person knows this. So this is compared to human life. So we have consciousness, visible consciousness. We can choose, and we have intelligence to choose. So if we properly choose, make choices, then we can still enlighten by the consciousness, or we can make the consciousness glow and the smoke can go. So human life is compared to smoke and fire. The next comparison is mirror and dust. So mirror and dust is, if the dust layer is more, uh, or even if it is less, If we see a mirror with the dust, it cannot show the real image, or the image will be very distorted. And if the layer of the dust is very big or thick, we cannot see anything. But we can understand that there is a mirror. So it's just a um, glimpse of the shape of the mirror will give the glimpse of the somebody is there. So it shows our image. So mirror is compared to animals. So their consciousness is completely fixed on sleeping, eating, mating, defending, all these four things. They only think of these four things, and whatever their energy or intelligence or consciousness they use for these purposes only. They cannot think anything more than these four things. So that is compared to mirror, that it has a limit, and it depends on the covering. And the third is, of course, embryo and the womb, that it's a helpless situation where it cannot do anything. So it's compared to trees. So trees also have consciousness, living beings, but they cannot move, they cannot express. So that's a stage where the consciousness is very low and it's actually helpless situation. Tathena tenedam avrutam. So like this, tena means it's not directly said lust, but the context is of lust. So it covers what? It covers all the world. So this is the lust is the enemy of all world. So the mm, desires like the tree or animals, that is also a birth that you get by your desires that you do, or the karma that you do. Accordingly you get the next birth. So these are the um, results of our activities. So uh, there are stories in Bhagavatam, like in Nalakovera story, they become the trees, and then Krishna, those two Ashoka trees, then Krishna breaks them, and then they are relieved. So they did a karma of offending Narad Muni when they were having pastimes or enjoying with the girls, celestial girls in the pond. They didn't respect Narada. So because of this, they become Narada cursed them to become trees. And then Krishna relieved them because they were from celestial, but not all will get such. But then we have to pay this price for your karma. So animals, to get the liberation or to have a greater consciousness, they, through the cycle of evolution, they have to come to the human form of life. Then they can um, work, or they can be enlightened by the consciousness. So human life, that is why human life is said to be a chance to understand, a chance to do the self-realization or understand God. So this is the rare opportunity that we all have got. And uh, though lust is covering, and how it covers, that Krishna will tell in the next loka, how and where it covers. But still, in human life, we have opportunity to go above this covering, or penetrate this covering, to understand or to do self-realization. So this shloka explains how the lust covers whole universe or whole world, and that's why Krishna is saying that it's enemy, devouring enemy of the world, not only human being. And because of this lust, the people are put into the species of life where they struggle with their consciousness and intelligence, and it becomes more and more covered, that it's almost the consciousness is not there. So that's why, like Srila Prabhupada says, the human form of life we have to use very carefully, by cultivating God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, which can uh, remove the smoke, and then the only fire like consciousness will be there. So how lust covers, what it covers, that we will see in the verse tomorrow, where Krishna will explain what and where, how it covers and bewilders the human being. So let's see that in our next sessions. Hare Krishna. Any comments? Any examples? There are many examples how these helpless situations, right? Like during the fighting, if two people are fighting without any weapons, then somebody will put dust into the eyes, or some put some masala into the eyes so that the enemy cannot see. He gets bewildered for some time. He don't know what to do. So that is as good as unconscious situation when the enemy, we can beat the enemy, right? So similarly, we are covered by this lust, a type of unconscious situation where we don't know what to do. Any other points? Or any other realization, question? Okay, so let's see how and what the lust covers. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much for joining.
Thank you,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.